were still icing it, how could you see? I mean, you shot obviously unbelievably well, but how was the eye?
I could see just like, when I sweat or like just felt like when I was breathing hard, I've been having a little cold, so my nose been running a little bit, so it just kind of just irritate that part of my face. I accidentally blew my nose, so it was like, I think it might be a crack like in the sinus area. So like that air going in there is like, just tension in my face. I would say discomfort more than anything. Like this eye is definitely better than this eye, but obviously I can see good enough.
Did it feel any different over the course of the day from when you woke up to tip off in terms of your eye?
Yeah, when I first woke up, it wasn't swollen shut, but it was just like, I don't know, it felt like it was open. And then when I looked at myself in the mirror, it was like it wasn't really open. So I was just icing it, took some Tylenol just to try to help with the soreness just from the impact of the hit. And icing it, and that was really it. I wore some shades for a while because it just kind of took the pressure off of my eye, and I thought that helped too.
Did you think about wearing a mask at all?
Nah, I mean, once I was like, all right, I feel like I could see good enough. I wasn't about to be all dramatic about it. It was obviously I hoped it didn't get hit again, but it was never a conversation about a mask.
Weren't you in concussion protocol earlier in the year too? Have you had okay? Are you dealing with headaches or any lingering stuff? Or you're just
Earlier in the year, I got hit. I got hit in my temple, and I felt that pretty much right away, like something was a little bit off. But this time it was like his elbow went right in my eye. He hit my face too, like his arm hit my face, but it was really on my eye, and I didn't have a headache or nothing like that. It was just like my face was sore just from the impact.
Obviously, you've got to see him as a teammate for the last year and a half, but you kind of know what it's like to pile up a whole bunch of points that a single franchise and kind of do it. Just what does seeing Giannis get 20,000 points kind of say to you about him as a player?
I think we've got a lot of great players across the league, and I've been in the league long enough to where I've seen guys go on a 2-year run where they, just had a time, or 3 years, or 4 years, 5 years sometimes. But it's a select group of guys that, for a decade plus have just been, putting it together every year, getting better, performing against the scouting report, just showing up night in and night out and doing it over a long, long period of time. And we all know the names, and obviously to get to 20,000 points is not just being a guy that has opportunity. You got to keep getting better. You got to go against the best defenders. You got to go up against the scouting reports. You got to take care of yourself and be available. You got to be on the floor consistently, and you got to do it even when you don't feel like doing it. And I think everything that goes into being a part of this group is what makes it special, and I think it says a lot about every guy that does it. And I think it says all of those things about him. So to have a teammate that's done it, and to have watched him from afar and now being on this team the last 2 seasons, it's a special accomplishment.
He said that the two of you talked about it before he hit the 20,000. What were the words that you exchanged?
We just talked about the things that I just said. Like, it's a lot of points, and then we talked about how hard it is to do it. And on the bench, I was just like, welcome to the club. Like, that's one thing that I'm beating them at is points. So I was like, welcome to the club. But, anybody that gets to that point is, you got to tip your hat to him, especially a guy like that.
What does it say that he's hit 533s, that he's doing it in this era the way he's doing it?
Giannis has hit 533s in his career.
So most of those points have been twos or
in a time where the league is shooting a lot of threes and a lot of scorers shoot a lot of threes, for him to be doing it mostly in the paint and at the rim and the free throw line that's tough. There's a lot of physical buckets. He's playing through a lot of contact consistently. So even more so for him, your body has to be able to take that. You got to be able to sustain that style of play, for a long period of time. So I think it's like I said, it says a lot about him.
So then you're going to try to stay ahead ahead of him? Like, is this going to be a going competition? Like, at the end, like,
No, I don't think it's a competition. I think, for me personally, I've never focused on like a stat like that. I think I feel like my style of play and how I prepare myself and being in this league long enough to understand how to be successful, I think it's just a matter of how long can I stay at this level, and I think I can for another 4 or 5 years if I choose to. So I know that I'll be able to get close to 30. But my goal is to try to stay at this level for as long as possible, and I think it's the same for him. And as long as it's that way, we'll continue to pile up points.
Dame, so Giannis, 20,000 career points. You passed Baron Davis to move up to number 41 on the NBA's all-time assist list. Brooke moved up to number 19 on the block list, and Kevin Porter Jr. had his third career triple-double tonight. I mean, can you just talk about yourself and your incredible teammates?
Obviously, it was a great night for our team in history. And for me, as a guy who scores the ball, to be moving up that list as a playmaker or getting assists, that's something that means something to me, because I think I'm viewed as just like a scorer, and I usually use my playmaking to make my scoring come easier, because I'm not 6'9" and bigger and stronger than everybody. So I think that's an underrated part of my game. So that means something to me. And then just to see Scoot going through so much and then getting the opportunity to have an impact on his team, and him kind of being embraced and going out there and doing it, and being able to have success. I'm just proud of him for that. And I just love to see him get this opportunity and him growing into it and helping our team. And for Brooke, I remember when I first came in the league, Brooke was an all-star in Brooklyn, and it wasn't for defense. So for him to be moving up that list like that, he's completely changed who he is as a player in a way, to adjust to the league and to keep being an impact player on a good team. So he should be proud of that, and obviously he means a lot to our team on that end of the floor. But to see him climbing that list as well is a huge accomplishment for him. And you got to respect it. And obviously Giannis reaching 20,000, everything that I said before, a lot of time and work and focus and just, I don't know, will goes into reaching something like that. So like I said, it was a great night for our team.
Is there something you see about the 20,000 club, though, the consistency? We take it for granted, but behind the scenes, you can't afford a shooting slump or a drought. You have to play through injury or days you don't feel great. Behind the scenes, what do we not realize that maybe there's a common thread through all of these players, that including yourself?
I would say just the mental strength. Like you said, you can't afford to go through a shooting slump, but we do. And I think a lot of the ups and downs that come with being in the NBA, the people that you see on that list, I think we deal with it better. We work through the struggles and the criticisms and all of those things better than everybody else. And I think that's what it comes down to. I could think of a lot of times in my career at different stages, after 2 years, after 3 years, after 5 years, where it was like, it was always something, Dame this, it was, and even today, it's still always something to be said. But then, you look up at these lists and I'm always on them, and it's like, for me, just winning, after I win the championship, I think it'll all come to a head and it'll be silent. But it's the mental strength that you got to have to be able to, I guess, experience all of those things and hear all of the things that people say and be discredited and things like that, and you just keep going. And a lot of people fold and give in to those things, and the people on that list, I think we just have it in us to just keep going regardless of what happens. And you lose in the playoffs or you struggle a couple games, you struggle a season, you just keep pushing forward.